Good evening, everyone. This is Spook, and we're live with Blaster Master Zero. Now, this came out a while ago. Single player? Okay. And this is a remake of the NES Classic, put out by Sunsoft approximately a million years ago. And it's definitely faithful in a few respects. I mean, this music is cribbed right from the original, as is that platform up there, and I mean, just this starting area looks just like it did in the original. Oops. In fact, most of that intro is very similar. In the original, Fred was just an average frog, not a mutant frog, I guess. Oops. So, I mean, they changed it up a bit, and unfortunately they added a bunch of unskippable dialogue, which is not okay. Don't ever do that. Because it really breaks the flow of the game. Oh, neat. I've got a... If I use my right bumper, I can aim diagonally upwards. That's very convenient, in fact. But yeah, a lot of this will look very familiar if you played the original. Oh god, I'm just... Okay. Ow, my face. Okay, we're mostly recovered. But this game was notorious for being oh my god. Oh, okay, I guess if I hit start, that clears it. Good. So this area is still here, and I'm gonna play a little dirty. Oh, really? Closer. Yeah, fuck your knees. Okay, anyway. But this area is going to be somewhat familiar, at least conceptually, because... Oh, that's neat. Because it's fairly easy to get weapon upgrades here. And while it's not quite like the original in that everything other than the best weapon is useless, you still want to have all the options available. And unfortunately, just like the original, getting hit does cost you a weapon level, which definitely sucks ass. Oh, and the R1 bumper lets you strafe. That's, you know, that's an improvement that just would not have been available back in the day. Okay, let's move forward. So I'm gonna grind this area just to get the weapon upgrades, so I can go full on Rainbow River. At least that's what I call it. I don't know if it has a proper name. Oh, hey, this crap passes through walls. That's both happy and fun. Oh, hey, a machine gun. Oh, Mother Hubbard. Okay, I need to be a little more careful than that. You know, I'm sure I'll find a better place to do this sort of thing once I proceed, but anyway. There's actually an upgrade you get that makes it so that when you take a hit, you don't immediately lose your weapon. You have a couple seconds. You have a couple seconds where you're vulnerable, where if you take another hit, it'll drain your weapon power, but you know, it doesn't happen right away, which is... It's a very nice enhancement, so it's like one mistake doesn't ruin you. But, I've jokingly called it the Second Amendment. It's like, haha, they won't take my gun. I suppose that's only funny to me, but... I kind of love that they added multi-layer scrolling to this. You know, it's got the retro look to a point, but only to a point. Okay, so I only need one more. I think I can just bolt out of here and come back, since I don't think I'm going to get one in any of those stones in that other room. Oops. Oh, look at that. I randomly dropped one. Regardless. Grade A+ pew pew. Okay. And then there's this asshole. Oh, oh, Ballsacks. Well, at least there's a health pickup here. Now, I think getting hit in the overworld doesn't cost weapon power, which is nice. Oh, okay, so I do have the three-way rockets, which I will absolutely use. Oh, balls. Really? We're just gonna worm our way in here. But yeah, this, the game as a whole is very familiar if you played the original, but it's got just enough added to it and some nice quality of life stuff added to it that makes it a much easier experience. Part of the reason the original was as difficult as it was is, you know, you had your 3 lives and 3 continues, but you had this massive, massive world. You know, you had these big 8 levels. It was hard, and after your continues were up, that was it. There was no save feature, no passwords, no nothing. So even apart from the difficulty, there's just the fact that it would be a long friggin' game. I mean, granted, speedrunners trivialize all that now, but I'm not a speedrunner. I've tried to do a speedrun of Mega Man 2, and that's about it. Because I positively love that game and all of its broken nonsense. God, even the animation on those jellyfishes, or, well, jellies, since they're not fish, is just spot on. Boy, you know how much I love water sections that impede your progress. Everyone's favorite. Okay, and if I remember correctly, we're already on to the first boss. This is just the magic of A priority knowledge, of course. This is a game I'm not doing blind, regrettably, but I do have the sequel, which I will do with no idea what's coming. Because there were sequels to the original, but they weren't even on the same platform. Like, there's one on the Game Boy, I think, and then one on the Genesis, and I don't think anyone played any of them. There may have been one on the PlayStation that I never touched. Because the PlayStation generation of consoles, you had all these artists going from 2D to 3D. So you have them basically going into the Atari 2600 stage of 3D development. nobody knows what they're doing yet. They don't really know what the console is capable of, or the hardware is capable of. And so the games just have this weird... I mean, apart from being relatively low poly, and the textures are kind of eh. It's just they didn't know what the limits were or how to use them, and I just don't have any nostalgia for games of that period because they're kind of bad in appearance in general, and a lot of them are just awkward when it comes to 3D anything at all. So I have very little nostalgia for that era. I mean, there's a couple good games, I won't deny that, but God, even this vertical section reminds me of a part in the original. There are 3 of those things that I just killed on the left. There's the second one. And these little floaty head guys. Whee! Now, if I remember correctly, this is... the boss here is just a giant brain. With a name that borders on trademark infringement. What useless dialogue? Why was it even here? Yeah, yep, there it is, Mother Brain. Nowhere near the space pirates, and yet here she is. Yay! I kind of love a trivial boss at the end of any first level. Okay, and there's my first upgrade for the tank. Oh, do I just? Oh, that was nice. Oh, Ballsacks. Oh, no me gusta. So I'm doing very little of the exploration that kind of comes with this title. I mean, it's borderline Metroidvania. In fact, it could arguably be a precursor to the Metroidvania quote-unquote genre. I mean, even though it comes out after Metroid and Castlevania 2, which could be argued to be Metroidvania before Symphony of the Night was. But people like to bash Castlevania 2 for being, well, a little ambitious and awkward. And fucking cryptic. But, you know. Pew pew pew. So yeah, that thing prevents you from getting into Area 2 until you kill the Area 1 boss. Here we go. And this area is aesthetically completely different from the original. You got all this space age looking stuff. And then you have these assholes. I mean, they were there in the original, and they could have just stayed there, and I wouldn't have minded, because they fucking suck. I mean, I'm not fond of these mines either, but they don't really pose the same kind of threat. So I actually don't know where I'm going, and I could probably stand to check the map once in a while. Okay, so I guess those aren't dangerous, as long as you don't step on them. Okay, and that's another progress block that I need to get the weapon from the boss in this stage. Of course, I don't remember where any of that is. Oh well, let's do some... Oh, I got a little beepy. Ah, frick. Okay, so I guess I was getting near something there. So a bunch of games have come out recently, and they all have my interest, at least a little bit. So there's SMT3 Nocturne Remake. That's out, and unfortunately the Get Everything That Comes With It edition is digital only, which is asinine. I mean, I'm going to check the local game store and say, hey guys, is there a version of this that I can get it on a disc, like a normal person? Just to see if that's a thing. But that's definitely on my list for something to do. And then there's Near Replicant, which I guess is also a remake, but I never played the original, so it's fine. But again, that's still full price, and I'm always hesitant when it comes to new games. Then, of course, there is Resident Evil 8, because I've played so many of them at this point, I might as well play the 8th one and see if that's any good. But, again, that's a ways off. And I'm not somebody who fetishizes big steppy lady, so I think there'll be less comedy in that for viewers than there would be with other streams or streamers. I mean, nothing against it, people who like that. It's just not for me. What I like about the weapon choice in this is that it's not strictly a progression, it's a toolbox. And for your general case, the top-notch weapon, this one, is often going to be the best choice, but for clusters of enemies, that little shocking one is really nice. Speaking of which, there we go. Yeah, this pretty much trivializes this quote-unquote fight, and it's actually really strong in a few others as well. Oh! I didn't realize that it clustered that far. This pleases me. Whoops. Zip. Bzz. One of these days I should stream Mega Man 2. Just play the shit out of that. Oh, good. Oops. Sorry about that. Hit my mic like a fool. Okay, homing missiles are nice, and they, and they deal with those guys much more easily. Now, in the original Nintendo version, you usually had to jump before firing them. For no reason other than if you fired them when you were at the same height as the little ground critters, like worms and so forth, you would just sit there and watch your missile kind of hang around just above the enemy, just going back and forth. It was just a weird bug in the way it worked, in the way missiles homed in on their targets, but it would look like it was just circling overhead the monster. Thankfully, that is not an issue here. Maybe, I don't know if I have the original on the Nintendo, but now that I have capture hardware, I'm definitely considering embarrassing myself trying to play it. Okay, I'm just playing really sloppily, and I would apologize for it, but I don't care. Boy, this week has been... it's been something. So, we just got past tax season. Oh, this was nice. They put those blocks there to slow you down so you could watch the tide come in and out. Introducing the mechanic in isolation, so you're aware of it. You're aware that this is a danger that is present here. Before they throw it at you, where there's a little twist like these guys. A little golf clap for that. That's a good choice on the developer's part. Now, is there a map? God, this really sometimes feels like it is a 3DS game blown up to 1080p. Probably because it is. I mean, I don't want to... Yeah, hi bugs. Can I just... I don't know what it is with trying to shoot diagonally in basically anything, but boy, they really... you know, I'll just blame the controller. Say that it's the PS4 D-pad that's the problem. It's definitely not my skill. You know, I could increase my damage if I lined myself up to hit multiple targets. Like so. Oh, they don't even fire in any meaningful direction. They just kind of spit randomly. Well, these guys just suck. And they telegraph their appearances so nicely. Ooh, it's another pew-pew laser. There we go. Now, I think this one just shoots through solid terrain. Oh. Oh, it charges. I see. Okay, and I don't think... Yeah, it just shoots through walls, but it doesn't destroy anything. Okay, so let's head back up and to the right. See if there's anything to find there. I really wish they had the mini-map on the main screen, but... You know, you can't have everything. Boom. You know what game really needs a modern release, or at least I need there to be a modern release of it, is Viewpoint. It's a isometric shooter from the Neo Geo era. Really looked pretty for its time. Like, very nice sprite work. Solid controls. I think it was a little directionless at times, but I really had fun with that one. It was one of those titles they had at Jim's Arcade way back when. There's a local arcade run by the eponymous Jim. And he knew me pretty well because I was in there a lot of the fucking time, shoving quarters into the machines and all that. But because Jim's a bastard, as are people, just in general. But no, he was funny. Back when I was young, I had a ponytail for a while. I mean, it was braided and everything, but he just thought it was amusing for some reason that I even had one. And I was at the soda machine one day, just filling a drink, and he sneaks up behind me with a pair of scissors and snaps it in my ear, and I think he's just cut my tail off like a jerk. He just pranked me, but come on, man. A friend of mine did a far more terrifying version of that joke. He snuck up behind me and took his knife out and he ran the knife across my throat, but he had his thumbnail, where the blade should be. So I still felt something sharp going across my neck. And I saw the knife in front of me, but nothing happened. But man, that's a terrifying fucking thing to do to somebody. If you ever think that's funny, fuck you, don't do that. I guess I'm just thinking about him a lot because he died on Memorial Day weekend many years ago now. You know, it's weird when you think, oh man, one of my friends died suddenly. But it's really weird when it's, one of my friends died suddenly 10 years ago. It's, boy, that makes you feel old. Just saying. Alright, so I think I'm going to pass this dungeon and then put my marker down. Oh, I can't pass through here without taking a hit. Let's not even bother. There we go. Okay, there is a downward path out of there. I should investigate that as well. Oh, I probably don't need to. Oh, yes I do. God, I love that weapon. It's just like the instant genocide weapon. Ah! Made it. Oh, hell's bells. Whoops. Okay, I gotta recover some gunpowder. Gunpower. Oh, seriously? Oh, poop on a stick. Oh, that did not pan out. Oh god, I fucked it up.